Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. So in this video we're going to do PSA returns. I know normally what I do is I have these white boxes in the back on the back side here to support the PSA cards as I build the background for them to lean up against. I thought, hey, you know what, let's just put some acrylic cased WotC boxes here in the background. Maybe that would have a better background to start off so you guys can, you know, look at those. I'm going to briefly go over my goals here at the beginning of the video for this next upcoming year, and then after that we'll go into the PSA returns. So the very first item that I want to work on is a PSA first edition Charizard. Those of you on E4 where I've tried to sell stuff to me recently, you know that I'm trying to get a first edition base set Charizard graded Gem Mint 10 condition right now. I'm in talks with the guy. I pretty much have the deal set up to where it's sealed completely. However, I still haven't finalized it yet, and I still haven't got it in the mail. The reason it hasn't finalized is because PayPal has very strict limits anytime you want to send a payment for more than $10,000. My account has been on there for over 10 years. I've got funds now. The other guy I've dealt with for more than 5 years, and I still can't even call in to have them go ahead and approve it. He didn't want to do a bank wire, or I think what was the other thing, send for a check. So we're just going to do it through PayPal, and that's over $1,000 in fees. Usually people don't want to go through there, but you know what? He's fine with it, so I'm okay with it because I still get all my protection as a buyer. However, I have to wait right now. I think the PayPal representative told me 3 to 5 days is pretty much their security precautions for reviewing both accounts to make sure that we could actually go through with the payment. Goal number 2, I want to have a base set first edition booster box. So right here you've got a WotC Team Rocket first edition box. I want a base set one with the first edition stamp on it, and I want to get it, make sure that it's completely legit. I have a few places that I'm working with right now that I may go for one, but it's a lot of money. Last year, my box I showed to you guys on here, and it was resealed, so that's tough. So I mean, that's my second goal. Hopefully we can get that one taken care of. That'll probably be the hardest one for me to do, but I think the Charizard is going to be easily done. And then next up, my third goal is to have an Alpha Black Lotus. That's a Magic card. It's like the base first ed Charizard, but of Magic, and I'm working on that one now. I collect Alpha for MTG. I've been working on a set for several years, but I've never really pursued it too hard. And the Lotus, I figured I'd just go for this year because the price on that just keeps going up. I just keep putting it off, and it turned out to be a little bit of a mistake, on my part, because of how usually you go for the biggest cards within a set first because they're the ones that are most likely to increase the most amount of price over time if it takes you a while to get this set, instead of all at once. But without further ado, those are my 3 main goals. I have lots of other things that I want to do and that I want to work on getting for Pokemon stuff, but if I could do those 3, I think that would be a big accomplishment really for any collector. So now we'll go into the PSA returns. We got I pretty much sifted out the cream of the crop for that kind of stuff, and we'll go through those. So first we have that Misty's Favor. That's from Unified Minds. A lot of the newer cards that I have graded, I'm mostly going to show you the 10s. I think I'm going to show you a few other cards that are not 10s just to go over some grading standards that PSA may be legit completely changing up on. So here we have the Karate Belt, Gem Mint 10, also Unified Minds. Got Greninja and Zoroark GX. Don't know if they're going to continue with the tag team stuff now that they're coming out with the V cards. I really like that mechanic. This is the alternate artwork. I like the fact that they did do 2 different artworks for a lot of the tag team cards. Next up we have Welder. This is also from Unbroken Bonds. Pretty cool card to have, in your deck. From XY Evolutions, we have the reprinted Mega Charizard EX. Still very popular among kids. Look at that fly making his way back again. I've killed probably 20 of these things. I don't know where they're coming from, but I do have a vacuum cleaner or a shop vac right beside of me. I won't turn it on because it would be extremely loud, but I've been trying to just suck them up instead of keep whacking my handle and stuff. But Evolutions was super popular. Kids loved it. You can get 300 damage from a Pokemon. And it's Charizard, a Mega Charizard, Next up we have this Mewtwo EX. I'm going to show you guys this one. So you've got the 10 on the left and the 6 on the right. And, you know, if you look at the back side of the card, if you're just looking at condition, which is, that's what's supposed to be, you know, the grade on it, really there's not much difference between them. Truly, this should have been a 9OC. I don't know why they knocked it down 4 grades for centering instead of just giving it the OC quantifier or qualifier. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure which term that they use, but for me, I think that's something that's changed up a bit. And then also, I actually had several more Mewtwo EXs graded, and a lot of them I think were knocked down because if you look on the top here, you get these little ridges from the texture. Sometimes they count off for it, sometimes they don't. I mean, you can see it on this Gem at 10. You know, it's got those same ridges across the top. Like, you can see them swooping in, you know, down this direction, just like the front texture does. But they've been counting off for that a little bit more and more as each new set comes out with better print quality. Next up, we have a Darkrai EX from Breakpoint. And looking at the back side of this, I would say that this is definitely one of the reprints just because it is such good quality. We've got a Reshiram GX. This is the Hyper Rare or Rainbow Rare. That is the technical term. I like Hyper Rare. For me, that just sticks out a lot better. They still always label these as full arts. I don't really understand that, but you know, it's PSA. They're going to do what they want. We have a Charizard EX. This is also from Evolutions. This is a reprint from Flashfire. Very nice Charizard. We have Fire Crystal, Secret Rare from Unbroken Bonds. You know, they actually label these as full art and secret rare, just like the Hyper Rares. They don't use Hyper or Rainbow, but I'm not sure what they really label it as. If you guys have ever went into the PSA registry and just tried to search cards, you know that they have this. The way things are searched are crazy. Like you can literally type in, you know, Gengar, you know, whatever the set number is, and then the set, and then every card in that set will pop up, but the Gengar. It is very frustrating trying to search through some of that stuff. Usually you have the most success when you put in the year, and then you put in the set, and then you put in the name. Then it may pop up, it may not. I've found that if I have another tab opened up that actually has the name in it, then it won't find it, like no matter what you do. So if I close out all the other browsers, or not all of the other tabs within the same browser, and then I just search on PSA, then it'll pop up for me. It's weird because I've done like price searches. I'll check eBay and sometimes I'll check PSA, and it can be tough. It can be frustrating. Next up, we have Dark Ivysaur. This is from the Best of Game. It does have the winner stamp. I'm sure some of you noticed that really quickly. This is a card that you could get as a winner and a non-winner. All of the non-holos you could get in both versions. Got Dark Venusaur, Gem at 10, winner. Then we have Rocket Sneasel, winner. I think I need Electabuzz, Hitmonchan, and the Scizor with the winner stamp. I've had them all. I've just sold them in the past because I didn't really collect the PSA cards until last year. Here's Dark Ivysaur. These don't have the winner stamp. And then Dark Venusaur. And if you're not aware, I mean, this is one of the last sets that WotC put out. You got these. You had I think those energies may have come out around the same time too. But the Best of Game was pretty much to honor, you know, some of the best cards in the game. That's why you had the base set. Hitmonchan, you had the Electabuzz. Professor Elm was a really good trainer. Then you had Rocket Sneasel and Scizor. I guess it was just to give them some Rockets cards. And then you had Dark Ivysaur and Dark Venusaur. I think that was mainly because you never had a Venusaur, a Dark Grass starter from Team Rocket. You had the Charizard and you had the Blastoise, but you did not have the Venusaur. And then the last two are Rocket's Hitmonchan and Rocket's Mewtwo, and those are just really cool looking cards, so I'm glad they did that. We do have some WotC promos. This is the Black Star promo number 3, WB Mewtwo, Gem at 10. This is a random Wobbuffet. Not sure why I graded it. Glad I got a 10 though, and I'm sure I need it in my set. I don't normally pursue the non-holos. I'm just trying to work on the holos at the moment. Here we have a Scyther. That's the number 45. Got an easy 10. Also had the WB Pikachu, Gem at 10. Then we've got a Pokemon Tower. That's the number 42. Definitely a lot easier to find than the 40 or 41. We've got a Naked Misty or Misty's Tears. This is the band artwork from Japan. Of course, it was altered and nothing's wrong with the new one. It does have a rarity symbol down here on the bottom. That means it came from the pack. It did not have that rarity symbol, and the card was generally a little bit lighter than you'd be looking at the one from the theme deck. We've got Mew number 47, Lily Pad Mew on a rock. And then last but not least, we've got us a Surfing Pikachu Gem at 10. Pretty easy to grade that card as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't maybe put some of your goals down there in the description. Let me know what you're trying to accomplish in 2020 with Pokemon. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys are trying to do. But don't forget to like and subscribe as always. Much appreciated. Happy New Year's.